Hello and welcome to the Backpacking Light Tarp video. Now, using a tarp is great fun. They're very simple rectangular pieces of material, which of course means they're extremely light, considerably lighter than taking a tent, and pitched in the right way, they will give you lots of coverage, lots of protection and lots of ventilation. But people sometimes get concerned or confused about how to pitch a tarp correctly, what knots to use and what shape a tarp should take. So in this video, what we've done is taken the three main tarp configurations, and I'm quickly going to introduce you to them now, and then we'll come back and look at them in more detail in a moment. Now this is the A-frame configuration, and you can see where it gets its name from. It's probably the configuration that most people would recognise straight away from reading the books or television programmes such as Ray Mears and so on. Now, this configuration works beautifully when the weather isn't too intense. You've got plenty of ventilation all around you, you can cook underneath here, you can prepare your stuff underneath here, and in fact, to give you an idea, this is an 8 by 6 foot tarp, and you'd get 2 people underneath here with their equipment, no problems at all. As you can see, if the weather changes slightly, you can perhaps lift one side or lift the other. The choice is yours, but this is the standard A-frame configuration that we'll be coming back and looking at in a while. Now let's go and have a look at the lean-to. Now for me, the whole idea of using a tarp has become part of the environment. It takes a while, admittedly, to get used to sleeping in the open, as it were, so when you open your eyes at any time, you see the sky. But once you get used to that, it's a wonderful feeling. The lean-to configuration gives you a certain amount of protection from one side from the weather, but I've got maximum views and obviously still plenty of ventilation, so I can do my cooking and sort all my equipment out underneath here. The Backpacking Light Solo tarp, this particular tarp, is 9 foot long by 4.5 foot. And that gives me plenty of space to either lie out long ways, should I wish to, or lie out sideways, as it were, and I can then make the most use of the space. One of the most enjoyable things about using a tarp in any configuration is the entertainment. Usually you get to see wildlife that you would not normally see because you've zipped the tent door closed. You get to see stars at night, which perform the most amazing nighttime entertainment. And then when you get bored with that, you close your eyes, and when you open them again, you see the sunrise. It's a wonderful feeling. Anyway, so that's the A-frame and the lean-to. Now let's have a quick look at the Flying V or the Flying Diamond. And this is the Backpacking Light Micro Tarp. Now you might think this is a little bit on the small side, but it does everything that I need it to do. If you can imagine, I've got my body in a bivvy bag here, which is sticking out. This particular shape will give me plenty of coverage. It will shed the weather very easily from any angle at the back here, and I've got plenty of space to store my rucksack, boots, whatever it might have, plus a space here to do some cooking while I watch the entertainment. Now the Flying V, Flying Diamond configuration can be made with any size tarp. And certainly when you start getting into the bigger 10 foot by 8 foot tarps, it's a copious amount of space for several people very easily. So that's the three main configurations, the A-frame, the lean-to and the Flying V. The first question people usually ask is, what knots do I use? So what we're going to do now is look at the best knots to use, how to tie them and where to put them.
When you go tarping for the first time, the temptation is to take a long reel of cord with you and cut it to length as you need it. Now, unless you put it away neatly at the end of that trip, this can result in endless spaghetti coming out of the bag the next time you use the tarp, and it isn't advisable on a windy day when you may need it in a hurry. It generally isn't a good idea either to leave cord loosely tied to your tarp, as it will never dry and once again can be a tangled mess when you pull it from the bag. After all, it may not suit your next configuration, so you could end up wasting time sitting in the rain and tying knots and tangles before you start. And this is the reason at the end of each use of your tarp you should hank your cordage, so it's neat, tidy and ready for next time.
Now, as we've already said, the advantage of hanked cordage is the fact that it will come apart very easily, and it comes apart ready for use with no tangles. And you can actually leave it attached to your tarp should you wish to do so once you've got a regular shape that you like to use, and hank the cordage back to the tarp. So if you like, that would be hanging off the tarp like this. You come to use it, you pull the tail end, bingo, away it all comes, beautiful. So how do you hank cordage? Well, it's fairly simple. You lock the first piece there between your thumb and forefinger. You take the next piece and put it between your third and little finger, fourth finger, and then you basically do a figure of 8 between the two, and nice and steady, you try and sort of keep it. So we've looked at the 6 basic knots you need now to pitch the tarp, and also how to hank cordage, keep things nice and neat in the camp. I've got a bag full of tarps here of all different shapes and sizes, and it's a beautiful day, so we're going to go for a walk and I'll show you the 3 basic configurations on how to pitch the tarp. Come and join me. The A-frame is the traditional shape that most people associate with tarps, thanks to Ray Mears and the bushcraft community, and probably the number of times you've seen pictures of tarps in use. And we're going to set one up now to show you how easy it is to set that configuration up. We've got here 2 lovely solid trees in an ancient woodland. It's a very, very calm evening. There's no wind at all, so it's highly unlikely that the tarp would flap and disturb us during the night. Also, there's very little above us to fall on us and cause us any problems, and I very much doubt it's going to rain, but we're going to set it up out of principle anyway. So I've got an old 8 by 6 foot tarp here, which is plenty big enough for one person. I've already connected the 2 cords at the apex of each end, and I've got 4 cords at each corner. And what I'm going to do is tie the tarp. So now, the secret with pitching a tarp correctly, fairly swiftly, is all to do with angles. And probably the A-frame is the one where it becomes most obvious that you've got to get your 45 degrees to the ridge line and all this sort of stuff. And it starts to become clear fairly quickly. Otherwise the actual whole profile of the tarp starts to lose shape very, very quickly. So there's the guy not done this side. And I'll just do exactly the same the other side to start making the A-frame take shape. The spot we've chosen here for this example is quite a nice woodland area. There's a gentle slope to the ground, but the bit underneath the tarp would make for a very comfortable night's sleep because there's plenty of moss on the ground and there's not much by the way of breeze. Hello and welcome to the Backpacking Light tarp video. Now, using a tarp is great fun. They're very, very simple. They give you considerably more weight.
Not quite, they don't.
Hello and welcome to the Backpacking Light tarp video. Now, using a tarp is great fun, particularly obviously in the outdoors. You're not going to use it in the house, are you? Stupid thing to say. Well, what we've done in this video is we've tried to show you the 3 main configurations to get the boast, the A-frame and the lean-to. Now let's go over and have a look at the, I've forgotten what it's called. It's called the Flying V. Like that. And I've got plenty of space down here and plenty of space behind me. Now with the lean-to configuration I can lie long ways, I can lie with my feet out, I could lie, how else could I lie actually? Around the back here. I've also got plenty of space behind me for my rucksack, bits and bobs, and obviously my cooking gear here, cooking beer. So there you are, that's the 6 basic knots on peg that down too. In this case, we've got the Backpacking Light micro tarp, which has been designed, I thought the pole would fall over, to the pole. And if this isn't quite right, we'll adjust it in a second. We're aiming to the pole there to be... Can I cut in anywhere?